All right, Lenny, I need a player perspective here because Adam and I have talked about how we've covered it in the media, both being at the parade or being in studio or even being there as a fan. I know you covered one as a media member, but I need to play a vision. I need to know what it's like to be on one of those duck boats in the parade. Tell me everything. Is it everything I've dreamed of, Lenny?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you want to be on that boat, right? And like you said, I covered it back in 2018, and all I could think about was being back on the boat as a player. Some time did elapse between 2004 and 18, and the feelings did kind of come back of being, such a special time. The day itself was dreary. It was rainy. It was muggy. It was cold. But that didn't stop the people from showing up for us. 3.5 million people, I believe, was the number,
Woo.
give or take. Yeah, it was a lot of people, just a sea of people. And I just remember the people were extremely excited and the best. They are having the best time. And they a lot of them had pictures of family members that they took off their mantelpiece as they left the house. Pictures of people that were no longer with us. It was at that time when I saw those people holding those that's when it really hit me how special it was because people lived a full lifetime without catching a World Series won by the Boston Red Sox. And there's a lot of really good, talented teams and talented players that came before us that just didn't quite make it. So it was a really special time. I was talking about the right place at the right time, being a Rule 5 rookie in 2004, picked up by the Mets, never pitched a day above Double A. And I really only had a month of Double A prior to that. I was mainly an A ball guy, high A, going into the 2003 season. So it was extremely special. I was on the boat with Mike Myers and a bunch of other relievers somewhere towards the end, and it was the best feeling. I mean, I still have to pinch myself to anytime I think about it.
I think of 2004, and like you, Lenny, you mentioned the teams that came before that 2004 team. I grew up watching a lot of those teams, and namely the 2003 team the year before that came up just short, of course, in the ALCS. But, you've played for other teams in Major League Baseball. You've been across the country. You played in other sports cities. You came back and now a member of the media, and you've seen other championship parades. How different is Boston from other places?
Well, I always say, I went to Oakland for a few years. I went to Kansas City, and I could go out and throw 8 innings in Oakland, right? I could leave the stadium, and nobody would recognize me from anybody. You go out in Boston, you pitch a third of an inning, you strike a lefty out. Guess what? You leave the stadium, people recognize you. They know exactly who you are. They know everything about you, where you've been in the minor leagues. It's like nowhere else really, because it's a small, big town, right? Everybody in the world of sports is recognized, right? From the bat boy on to your Hall of Famers, and the base that watches these games are super knowledgeable. They know everything, right? They're and I remember Bronson Arroyo told me back early in 2004 when the Red Sox lose, these people don't eat dinner. They get ticked off, right? They take it seriously. They're sitting at home thinking, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? They're thinking of what we could have done different. It's not like that in any other city. It wasn't like that in Kansas City when I was there either. People go on with their lives. They don't really take it the same way. Win or lose, it's like, all right, we'll go get them another day, whatever. Not here, not New England. They take it super seriously. You're a local guy, Adam. Tell me you weren't ticked off when the Red Sox lost back in those previous seasons.
Yeah, no, I was, man. Like, I mean, and the thing is too, speaking, just about the Red Sox now, the mentality was like something's going to happen. It always does. No matter how well you do during the regular season, no matter how good things look for you, if you get into the postseason, something's going to go wrong. It has before, it will again. We are cursed. And that was the sort of feeling that we had going in '04, especially Lenny. I mean, you know better than anybody. I mean, being down '03 to the Yankees in the ALCS, getting waxed in game three,
Mm.
everybody outside of that clubhouse was like, here we go again. You guys are done. We're going to have to blow it up and figure something else out. Try again next year. That was always the mentality. The fact that you guys, came back, were able to win that series and then just sweep the Cardinals. By the way, the World Series itself was anticlimactic, right? Because it was a
Yeah.
sweep. After that 7-game series against the Yankees, the most improbable comeback ever. You come back and sweep the Cardinals like NBD, but no, that was it, man. Like that gave people like this sort of, it was healing. It was this moment of healing, and that's what you saw in the parade, right? And I think you guys both sort of alluded to that, and we've talked about it being cathartic. You could see it, this sort of like sense of relief, like we finally did it. Like you haven't seen that in other parades, like the Patriots parade, like it was the first one. But the fact that the Red Sox had not won in 86 years, you felt that being out there, and just like that, it was, the curse was broken. It was awesome.
Yeah, there were years and years of people just waiting for the shoe to drop, right? Because it had happened. It happened so many times before where they got so close, something would happen to derail the team right at the wrong minute. But you got to give a lot of credit to Theo, right? Because he didn't just put together a team full of numbers, a bunch of guys that go out there. He's just looking at the stats. Great, you put together a team like that, doesn't guarantee you a World Series champion. No team, no GM can guarantee you that. But if you look at the personalities on that team, they didn't allow us to get tight when it really counted. When the lights were brightest, we were relaxed. We had a slow heartbeat because a lot of guys like Millar were in the clubhouse, Johnny Damon. These are really lighthearted guys that had a lot of time, that have been there before, that wouldn't allow us as a team to go out there and feel tight, feel like we needed to win this game. We were talented, right? We had a ton of talent on that team. But again, that doesn't win World Series. It's talent. It's being able to use your talent and slow the heartbeat. That's where you're going to be most effective.
LD, you know what's crazy is you asked Adam about his passion for the Red Sox when they would lose, how he felt, and he opened up to you like you were Barbara Walters. I mean, that shows you the kind of passion that you alluded to from these fans. And we're going to take a look at some of the memories, some of the sights and sounds from that parade. But you mentioned fans holding pictures of loved ones who are no longer there. Can you also share with us some other memories that you have from it as we look at a young Manny Ramirez here partying, Lenny?
Oh yeah. I mean, people were throwing drinks up to us. They were throwing beers and whatnot, and we were opening them up and drinking them. We were having a party with the fans. It was it was a great time. And you look at Poppy right there. He was, this is before the David Ortiz that we know so well now, right? This is him right at the beginning. We've seen clutch performances by him previous to this, but he had a long career after this, and I think this was just a springboard to the big Poppy that we know. I mean, when I met him that spring training, I was like, this big guy, this guy could probably hit the ball a long way. I didn't know much about him at that time. I knew, he'd only been with the Red Sox for 1 year, coming over the previous year from Minnesota, but now, I mean, when Poppy enters a room, it's like, it's different, right? If you've ever seen him, it's different. He's just a larger than life individual. There's Pedro. Couldn't have got it done with him. You can see the Dominican flag, pride right there. Long-haired Pedro right there, getting it done, waving the flag. A lot of pride right there, and you can see we're having just as much fun as the fans in the crowd right there. That type of team, we would have gladly jumped off the boats and started getting in with the crowd, right? That's just the type of players we were. We'd have jumped out and hung out with them, no problem. But yeah, that was an amazing experience. Look at that. He's turning around. Look at the jersey I'm wearing. That's you. I got your jersey on.
Man,
And the trophy. Anytime I see all 4 trophies together, I see them pretty often. I'm always like, where's '04? Where's '04? That's the one I want to take a photo with, because that one, they're all special, but that one just hits home for me. Not only because I was on the team, but again because so many people waited so long to be able to say we're world champions, right? And that was the year.